the tangent curve. In the example we looked at y equals tan x on the domain 0 to 2 pi. Just as with the sine and cosine graphs, if we look at the graph on a wider domain, the curve repeats. It's basically a cut and paste of the section from negative pi by 2 to pi by 2. Now, I know we plotted from 0 to 2 pi, so we haven't looked at this, but when we see the graph below, we'll see why it's easier to think of this. And that's one oscillation or period. So the period of the tangent graph is pi. Negative pi by 2 to pi by 2 is pi, whereas the sine and cosine graphs have a period of 2 pi. So here's the graph, and here's the section in red from negative pi by 2 to pi by 2. And note that's one continuous piece of the graph, so it's easier to think of just copying and pasting that off to infinity. If we think about 0 to pi, which we may have decided to do because it fitted with what we plotted, that would be this section together with this section. Now clearly that does repeat, but it's easier to think of a joined section repeating. Now note that these in here are less thans. We cannot find tan of negative pi by 2. We cannot find tan of pi by 2. Both of those will give us a calculator error, and that's why we can see all of these asymptotes. So this section is repeated and the period is pi.